energetic, slightly urgent. OpenAI recently deployed an internal model to disprove a central mathematical conjecture in discrete geometry, a problem first posed by Paul Erdos in 1946. Almost immediately, online communities began declaring that artificial general intelligence, or AGI, had officially arrived. But the CEO of Google DeepMind, Demis Hassabis, took a different view. Looking at the exact same mathematical achievement, he stated clearly that today's systems are nowhere near AGI. Hassabis argued that solving a deeply complex, narrow math problem is an impressive invention, but it lacks the broad, reliable capabilities required to replicate human cognition across everyday situations. We have a situation where the architects of the technology look at the same data point and draw wildly opposed conclusions. That level of disagreement at the top of the industry suggests that our current methods for measuring software capability are no longer working. We are in a strange transitional phase. The systems running right now are significantly more capable than the basic autocomplete algorithms of 5 years ago, yet they possess nothing resembling a conscious mind. Even without consciousness, their practical utility is widespread. Models can write functional Python code, draft dense legal documents, summarize weeks of research in seconds, and generate video from text prompts. This creates a two-sided danger. If you believe AGI is already here, you will place too much trust in flawed systems. But if you dismiss the technology as a hype cycle, you will ignore a massive restructuring of the industrial economy. To navigate this period, we have to look past our own cognitive benchmarks and learn to identify a new, asymmetrical model of capability. Andrej Karpathy, one of the founding researchers at OpenAI, coined a term to explain why these models behave so strangely. He calls it jagged intelligence. This chart maps out normal human cognitive development. As a person grows from childhood to adulthood, their capabilities are highly correlated. Their memory, reasoning, and long-term planning skills all improve together. Because of this biological correlation, we rely on a baseline rule. If a human has the cognitive ability to write production-level code or solve advanced calculus, they also possess the basic reasoning to know how to navigate the physical world. Look at what happens when we plot AI capabilities onto this same graph. A machine breaks the rule of correlation. It can shoot far above the human baseline to disprove a geometry conjecture, and in the very next output, plunge to zero by failing a basic logic test. Machine intelligence is not a smoothly rising tide. It is a jagged landscape where superhuman peaks sit directly next to catastrophic, unpredictable valleys. Cognitive scientist Gary Marcus has been pointing directly to these hidden valleys to show why current models fail the standard of true general intelligence. He highlighted a bizarre internal audit where top-tier models inexplicably began injecting words like goblins and gremlins into random outputs. Developers had to write highly specific, hacked instructions into the system prompts, begging the AI to stop talking about mythical creatures. That reveals the alchemy of current software engineering. We have a technology capable of world-class mathematical proofs, yet its behavior is so erratic that engineers rely on hidden instructions to keep it from hallucinating goblins into computer science exams. High performance on a single difficult task is not the same as AGI if the underlying system lacks the consistency to follow a simple negative command. This jagged landscape is why the smartest people in the industry are clashing over the timeline. They are looking at the same models but measuring different things. Venture capitalist Mark Andreessen represents the pragmatist view. He points out that the newest frontier models consistently give him better answers than top experts across medicine, law, and finance. For a user at a keyboard, that level of utility feels like general intelligence. Demis Hassabis takes the purist view. He argues that utility is not equivalence, and mimicking expert outputs in a chat window does not make a machine generally intelligent in the way a human is. This matrix outlines Hassabis's requirements for true AGI. He demands continuous, lived memory. He demands the autonomy to plan and execute tasks over weeks. And he demands the ability to generate entirely unprompted, original inventions. Right now, those boxes are empty. The real debate ain't out celebrating the work AI can already do. It is a recognition of the cognitive safety nets that are still missing. This disagreement over definitions directly dictates how global industries deploy these models in the real world, and the risks are immediate. The danger occurs when business leaders watch an AI solve an incredibly complex coding problem and assume it possesses human-like reliability across all other functions. If you deploy a Jagged system autonomously into a high-stakes environment, like healthcare diagnosis or algorithmic trading, it will eventually plunge into a capability valley without warning, taking the data and the operation down with it. Misdiagnosing specialized Jagged intelligence as autonomous general intelligence is the single greatest threat of the current software cycle. We cannot afford to sit around and wait for a single moment where AGI officially arrives. These tools are already embedded in the workflow. Businesses and individuals have to exploit the high peaks of AI capability to synthesize data and accelerate research. At the same time, every output must be audited to catch the inevitable hallucinations and reasoning failures hiding in the valleys. While we haven't reached a consensus on the final destination, the intensity of this debate shows that the era of simple predictions is over. The intelligence we've built may be jagged and incomplete, but the shifts it is creating across global industries are irreversible.